We don't need any more people. We're just gonna hide it.
My truck gets about 20 on my floor.
Look, I mean,
Yeah.
Alright, we're speaking now.
I love the truck, but it
I get 16.
okay. So we got everybody here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have one who's gonna phone in and Madeline's gonna phone.
Madeline is out there.
She's on.
Madeline's out here.
Madeline's on. Okay.
Morning.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We have everybody we're expecting, I believe. A couple on the phone. And just want to welcome, we have a guest from the Business Review with us this morning. So just welcome.
Nathan?
And we get going here on the agenda. The minutes were sent a few days ago. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to review them. They looked accurate to me. I had no changes. Saying that, unless we have some corrections or additions or deletions, I would take a motion to approve the minutes.
So
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Any corrections? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And any abstained? Thank you very much. Our Finance Committee report, Al.
I'm gonna defer to CFO. I heard you. I'll do the voucher.
Okay, good. Well, the CFO is pretty good.
All right, we'll just go over a couple of the highlights through June of 2024. Our total cash is 8.9 million. Loans receivable is a little over 11 million. All loans are paid to date. So budget versus actuals, our actual revenues for the year are roughly 324,000. About 10,000 budgeted amount, about 314,000. Total operating expenses are 202,000 versus a budget of 300,000. So our change in that position through June is 121,000 versus budgeted amount of 14,000. So we're 107,000 to the good. Anyone have any questions? Well, over to Al for the
Okay, we have
voucher.
the second quarter voucher for services. Total amount is 100,976.22. The amount's broken down for salaries, professional fees, and other items are there. Anybody have any questions on the voucher? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve payment.
So move.
Is there a second?
We have the shovel ready.
Okay, we'll do that one separately. So we have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then we also have our shovel-ready voucher, total amount of $8,540. Second quarter for legal professional fees. Any questions on that? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Is there a second? Mark a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The Finance Committee, Al?
That's it. We got the Marcus is up to.
We have the audit committee now. Marcus, good morning.
Good morning. As you're all aware, we're required to file the Form 990 annually. I've had the opportunity to review it independently as well as Amy. We'll turn it over to our very talented CFO to review it.
And as Marcus said, this is just a requirement of non-exempt filing for the IRS every year. It just highlights the financial of the organization. So just, anyone have any questions?
I'll entertain the fact that I signed it as the treasurer, and I reviewed it, and it's very thorough and complete as usual.
I also reviewed it as chair.
So there's a motion, I'll second that motion.
Motion, I'll move. Second, you do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amy, CFO report.
I've covered everything.
You covered it all. You got it. Okay.
Just took a breath.
Yeah, you did good. Thank you very much. All right, and for our loans, Kevin, good morning, Mr. Kevin.
Thanks, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. What we're looking at is a new bike shop in the area as a replacement to the down tube, which was closing down after 50 years of ownership. He decided to retire. So we're looking, this individual, Becky, is looking to backfill that space. She was originally looking to stay in that building. We're working through some stuff there. She may start looking at some other retail spots that may be more financially advantageous. At this time, there's just some negotiation between the current owner and Becky to figure out a space and whether or not that particular space is going to be the one, or we're going to have another one, or we're going to look at another space. But Becky is a self-proclaimed cycle nerd. She, those were her words, Marcus.
It's actually fair. I didn't think you were gonna go there.
Those were her words. She actually worked for the down tube for several years and then moved down to the Washington DC area where she became a level 2 certified bike fitter. She's bringing those skills back up to here. Again, she had worked with the down tube, so there was a familiarity with the owner and the space. Because this is, I think, would be considered a startup, her mother has offered to pledge a first mortgage lien on her home in Oneonta and will also provide an unlimited personal guarantee. We will take life insurance on Becky as we always do for all our loans. At this time, the ownership looks like 51% Becky, 49% her mother, and over time that will transition to 100% Becky. So our documents will say, ownership change, so we'll have to address that over time. But there's a need for it in the area. In speaking with Becky, there is a large contingency of cyclists, exercise people. She has a agreement with a major manufacturer, a major supplier that not only has corporate stores, but they will provide her all the back end. Help with marketing, help with design, and especially help with the financials. So she inputs it through the POS system, and then this bicycle manufacturer will actually work with them to where there are pros and cons, where they're doing well and where they're not doing well. So it's not just about their product, but it's all the products across the line. They want anybody that represents their stores to be successful. So that, in meeting with her, that gives me a huge boost of confidence in her success. This one I'm going a little bit off the reservation with, and I've spoken with Jeff about it, is one of the issues is that Becky has accumulated a little bit of credit card debt. Our bylaw, or our business plan, allows for the refinance of existing debt as long as it shows there will be a positive impact on the business. If you look at Appendix A, that will be a huge benefit to the business. Her credit card payments right now are about $1,800. Her total loan payment's going to be $2,200. And in 5 years, she'll be completely paid off. She's going to need that access to credit to really grow the business and bring on other vendors. So I am recommending to the board that at closing, we pay off all those credit card debts as a way to position her for more success. Originally, we thought we were going to be on Madison Avenue. I would ask the board respectfully to approve pending a location, and then we work with council to review the lease. My guess is the location would be somewhere in the Albany bid central district in downtown Albany along Pearl Street, Broadway, in those areas. So this would be a nice little one for Albany.
Kevin, I'm happy to jump in if you'd like me to.
Yes, please.
So I had the opportunity to meet Becky as I began my latest hobby in cycling. Most of you know I live in the Center Square area, have for most of my life, done business in Albany. And Susan, I'm sure that you can speak to this as well as the elected representative of the county there. This is an extremely popular bike shop. It's been operating for 50 plus years. The owner is in his 80s. He had decided to retire. But we all acknowledge the importance of the social construct, the economic construct of having a bike shop in the area. I was really struck by the fact that, when you're sitting there waiting for your bike to be repaired, you'll see minimum wage workers from Albany Med come in with their only mode of transportation being the one they're carrying through the doors, needing it to be repaired. So I think that this is truly what we are here for. In terms of our mission, this is a woman-owned business. It's a young woman who's looking to not only keep the business in Albany, and Kevin, I don't mind just elaborating a little bit. There's some negotiation with the owner for the purchase of the building. If that does not happen, she has identified, after working with the downtown bid, about 8 different sites in downtown Albany, which actually might be more advantageous to her business plan. It would take an empty storefront off of the rolls in the downtown business district, and potentially provide her with more cash flow. She's got a number of investors that are looking to push this forward. She has support of municipal leaders, some who many of us might have seen lying up and down the street with a scarf waving behind her as she campaigns for the Senate, for the state Senate. She has been approved for a Trek dealership, which is the existing dealership of the Down Tube. It's one of the leading, if not the leading, bicycle brand. And as Kevin pointed out, it's almost like a franchise in that they have over 200 corporate stores where they test best practices for their dealer-owned stores across the country. They have a POS system that integrates directly with them, so when the rep comes in, the rep is able to look at the products that are moving and provide the business owner with advice in a larger, more holistic approach. They provide training. We'll be sending her to Trek University, and their services even go so far as having retail design services available to help her lay out the store. So I've just been working with her, giving her some advice on how to move forward. She's an incredibly smart young woman who is just finding her voice. So again, I think this is literally why we are here. To retain businesses, to support women-owned businesses, to fill up those vacant storefronts that we have. So if anybody has any questions, to the extent that I have knowledge.
That's great. And maybe this is more for Kevin, I think I read this right, but it's a first lien on the mother's property, so there's no mortgage on that property.
No mortgage on the residence, and mother also owns like 4 units or something now.
Mother's a retired veterinarian.
Yeah, no, it's
Who has spent the last several years in places like.
with an unlimited guarantee.
She went really,
Yeah, she went to
rescuing
Australia last
animals.
That's-
According to Becky, though, she is staying local, and she works at the clinic that she used to run part-time and whenever she wants for extra income, Social Security, the whole bit.
Yeah, Becky had actually moved back from DC with the hopes of purchase. She had worked at the Down Tube, was hoping with someone else to purchase it. They're young. One of them got burned out in the retail space, and that didn't go forward. But her mother actually just happened to return from Australia right at the time that the owner decided to sell and said, "Oh, this is what I thought you came back here for," so I moved out.
That sounds great.
And Marcus, you're going to not vote, correct?
Yeah, I don't have any financial interest in it, but to avoid any appearance of impropriety, I'm going to recuse myself from the vote.
I'd entertain we move it contingent upon finding the appropriate space in case you can't purchase the existing space.
Thank you.
I would second.
No, you were that. If, as long as we have a quorum and somebody approves themselves, we still have a quorum to vote. I checked with Matt before we had that issue. Good point. We have first.
I'm a second.
Oh, sorry.
Any questions? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And I'm abstaining. Marcus abstains. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
No, thank all of you. I'm excited about that one. Next one is just renewal, company down in the warehouse district, all type professional doors. That name may sound familiar to some of you, especially Mr. Michaels. We have entertained the previous owner probably 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he sold it to his 2 top guys, Jay and Joe. Jay and Joe have owned it for about 7 years. In those 7 years, they've doubled their revenue, quadrupled their personal income, and have overpaid every single month for the last 30 months. So they should actually be scheduled for a 5-year note and a 10-year amortization, but since they paid it down so much, they've actually asked for a 5-year with a 5-year amortization, and they will overpay, probably be done in about 3.5 years. 16 full-time jobs, 2 part-time jobs. The part-time jobs are the old-timers. They kind of come in and help the young guys, like, look, careful, that's a spring. So they're doing really well. Jay's inside, Joe is kind of the outside guy, doing very well. They've done airport project, they've done, they do a lot of the big contractors. The one thing, they're competing against like Matson overhead doors. That's their big competitor on this type of stuff. So, but just looking to renew for another 5 years, based on a 5-year fully amortizing.
Sounds like a good project.
Yeah.
If I could throw in, because I have to recuse myself because I'm the accountant. The original owner, Grover Rose, was wall type. He's one of the guys that I think jump-started the whole warehouse area. But not only what the building for his wall type was, but he was involved with a couple other buildings. So we've loaned a lot of money in that part of the world. This was a sale to his employees that was one of the best win-wins I've ever seen. Grover walked away happy, these guys are happy, and they've done very well.
Yeah.
And with that, I would accuse myself because I count. Claim.
Great. Thank you. Any questions at all for Marcus, or for Marcus?
Yeah, he says old timer, and then all of a sudden you look at me for questions. I mean, what's going on
I'm
here?
sorry. Any questions?
No. But if you're entertaining a motion, Marcus will move.
Marcus will move. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And we have 1 abstention. Thank you very much. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Couple of good deals. Good.
Yeah, we have some nice ones in the pipeline. Kevin and I are working on one company specifically that if all goes well, this fall would be a $1 million request. Easy, so.
Is that the one I brought, Jim?
What?
That one that I brought?
No.
Wow.
But that one is coming too. I keep in touch with her. She's working on the piece of equipment. She hasn't done the right one yet.
Yes, no,
And that'll be about that should be between 500 and 700.
there has been, so your pipeline is even better. There's been some good stuff that we've seen just rock solid with our mission. The great stories.
Yes.
That works, that you have. And that I brought, those are great ones.
Yeah, and Mailworks has closed and so has Condoms, and they are both very happy. Mailworks will be doing a ribbon cutting shortly for a tour of their whole facility now that they're kind of moved in but not fully settled in. So be on the lookout for that, please.
Could maybe down the road, not necessarily next meeting, we have some sort of just report that also highlights women-owned businesses, family businesses, legacy businesses, because I think that it's really a great story that we should be telling.
Sure.
Yep. Good job.
Great. Thank you. Okay, on to the next agenda item, Mr. O'Connor.
Thanks, Jeff. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance. Just 2 items I'd like to report on. First, we have some new staff with us here today. 2 gentlemen who joined the Alliance. Dylan Turek, who joins us from the city of Troy, and Clayton Besh, who joins us from the New York State Empire State Development Group. Dylan is gonna be doing, some of our, kind of community development work, and, we'll hear more about that as time goes on. Clayton is gonna be working on some of our sites, not the least of which being, the Altech Steel site, which, the ACBDC has been so, supportive of in helping that site get to be shovel-ready. We do have some further developments on the Altech site. We secured a grant from the Environmental Protection Agency to hire a consulting group. It's a preferred consulting group by the EPA, and they're gonna help us kind of identify development potential for the site as it goes on, how you might carve up that site into various development parcels, given everything about that site. As you all know, this is a state Superfund site, and it's got some real challenges to it, but it does happen to be one of the probably single best industrial sites in the county because of the infrastructure that exists there in the way of power, water, rail, sewer, and so on. We're continuing to move along on that. Clayton's going to be involved in that as we go ahead. And I'd say we're still probably a year to a year and a half out before we can actually start marketing the site for a developer. As you know, the agreement we struck with the Department of Environmental Conservation was to get a liability agreement so that we're not responsible for any of the past contamination on the site, which is significant, and to put the site in the so-called brownfields tax credit program. So that'll make it more desirable for a developer to go in there and develop the site with all of the conditions. As you know, the Department of Environmental Conservation is going to allow us to cap the site. There is some ground contamination on the site, from years of being a steel manufacturing facility. And, but, this is something they've done. I assume that what they believe is that the environmental risk of digging that contamination up is worse than just leaving it there and capping it over, which is what we agreed to do with them. So the Department of Environmental Conservation is continuing to do some of the environmental mitigation on the site. That I think should be wrapped up in the next, 9 to 12 months. And, but we will be taking title of the site before then through the county tax foreclosure process. We'll be responsible for maintaining the site, securing the site, and getting it development ready. Again, the money from the Altech Trust Fund, little irony here in all of this, is crucial in getting that site up to where it needs to be. We've been in discussions with the State Department of ESD, and they like the site. There are some issues on access and egress to the site because the two roads that basically get you there from east and west both go through residential neighborhoods. So we're pursuing an alternative access route into the site, which would take it away from those residential neighborhoods. Our interest in this site, there's tremendous interest in the site for logistics or warehousing and distribution. We are not interested in warehousing and distribution for this site. It's not the highest and best use. What we're looking to see happen in this site is something consistent with the county's economic strategy, which is alternative energy, clean tech, biotech, pharmaceuticals, and so on. So what we're looking to happen here is a company that is going to be make a high capital investment, probably a high power user, which the site is ideally suited for, which is unique in upstate, and somebody that is going to create significant number of jobs, along the lines of what we did with Plug Power out at the Vista Technology Campus. So, things are going well on there. And again, I would just want to thank the ACBDC board for the support of getting that site ready. This is probably going to be the single best industrial site in the county over the next, 3 to 5 years. So any questions on any of that for me? That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and the great work with that site. I mean, that's-
Yeah, I gotta tell you.
That's a phenomenal site.
Yeah, and DEC was, they get a bad rap from a lot of people, but they were unbelievably cooperative with us. They like the idea that this site's gonna get redeveloped and that it'll be for, clean tech or clean energy, alternative energy. So they've been a great partner in this, as has ESD. So I think, with a little work and again, a little time, probably 12 to 18 months, we will have a premier industrial site for the county.
That's great. Thanks for your leadership.
Yeah.
That's great. Any questions for Kevin? Great. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is an executive session. I have nothing for executive session. Anybody else does? Kevin?
No.
Okay. And hearing nothing, I would take a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Alan. Second. And Marcus, thank you. All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. And,
Efficient.
right on schedule.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Dylan. Yeah.